Johnny Sandlin was one of the greatest of the Duane Allman evangelists. Johnny was in Hourglass with Duane for a couple years, and he came to Macon at Duane's invitation to join Capricorn Records as an in-house producer. Really spoke eloquently and brilliantly about Duane Allman, Duane's vision in music. Here's a quote from him that talks about another part of Duane, his slide playing. And Johnny didn't really like Duane's slide playing at first. Duane became renowned for his slide playing, but at the beginning it was a little rough. And here's Duane on slide, Vitamin ABB, trust me, I'm a doctor.
That's Duane Allman in the foreground playing the Strat with Johnny Sandlin sitting on drums. This is 1967, probably 1968, the Hourglass. And I'm using it to highlight a quote from Johnny Sandlin about Duane. And when Duane first started to play slide, he said he was in his apartment in LA with an old acoustic guitar. It didn't sound very good at all back then when he first started. A lot of people didn't realize he was one of the top players in the world. It seemed to me at the time that the slide was a detour in his playing. I'm not really proud of this lack of vision. Jesse Ed Davis was Duane's very first influence. He got interested in slide after we'd seen Taj Mahal. We loved that first Taj record. The whole band loved it. It was almost required listening. Hourglass started playing Taj Mahal's versions of Statesboro Blues shortly after that, and it was the first song I remember hearing Duane play slide on. Later, he went back and listened to Elmore, Muddy, and other slide masters. Back then, slide was a real strange thing. You didn't see a young rock and roll band with a slide guitar player. Now you see it everywhere. But then I don't even know if I realized what Jesse Ed was doing or how he was doing it. Duane didn't invent slide, but he certainly popularized it and took it to new levels. It was just like a whole different instrument. Today you expect a lead guitar player to at least be able to play it, but not then. That's Johnny Sandlin, Hourglass. Paul Hornsby has some similar stories. I think even Peter Carr has some stories of how difficult it was to listen to Duane learning to play slide, teaching himself how to play slide. Incidentally, Duane did that in standard tuning, Statesboro Blues. That's how he learned it. It was about 2 years later, I guess, maybe a little over a year later, that when he met John Hammond, that John Hammond showed him open E tuning, which is what he used for slide pretty much the rest of his career at that point forward. And one last little note here, I find this interesting. This quote's from 1997, so it was a long time ago, still 30 years after they were in LA for Hourglass. Johnny Sandlin's telling the story, who told a bunch of great stories. If you've not read his book, Never Ending Musical Groove, really great read on, got a whole lot of content, whole lot of info on his time with the Allman Brothers, with Duane and Greg and Hourglass, and through that time with Capricorn. But he mentions seeing Taj Mahal live, Jesse Ed Davis playing slide. Greg and others mention the album, that Greg brought Duane the album, and that's how he learned it. Maybe Greg brought Duane the album after seeing him play it live. You know, who knows the certain order of events. But everybody says Taj Mahal, Statesboro Blues with Jesse Ed Davis on slide is what inspired Duane to play slide. Long live the Allman Brothers Band.
Duane definitely put slide guitar on the map in rock guitar. Absolutely 100%. There were others doing it. Jeff Beck did it on Beck's Bolero, but Duane got it from Statesboro Blues by Taj Mahal, and Jesse Ed Davis, who played slide guitar on that. And it's a Blind Willie McTell song. Duane copped it 100%. There's a couple stories about it, but the one that resonates the most was Greg brought over a Coricidin bottle. Duane got the label off of it and started playing slide, and, you know, almost immediately, well, they say almost immediately, and then there's a whole bunch of people saying, I don't know if you've ever heard anybody try to play slide, learn. I didn't do it for years because it sounded so awful. It was like dead duck, and I was like, I just want to play music. This sounds terrible. But he got it pretty